Starbucks just announced they are moving 2,000 jobs out of Seattle, 2,000 jobs to Nashville, Tennessee. And with an average salary of $125,000 each, that's $250 million in annual payroll heading straight to Middle Tennessee. Now, Starbucks says they're not leaving Seattle, but I want to ask you a more important question. If one of the most iconic companies in America just picked Nashville over Seattle, should you still be waiting? If you live in Washington State right now, whether you own a business, lead a team, or just have a family you're trying to protect from rising taxes at a city that's becoming harder and harder to justify, this video is for you. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why smart people and companies are making the move from Seattle to Nashville and what that can mean for your future. Before we get into all that, real quick, if you're someone who's already thinking about making a move to the Nashville area, I want you to know I help relocating families and retirees navigate this market every single day. I get calls and messages from people all over the country, especially from the Pacific Northwest right now, and I generally love helping people make this transition the right way. So whether you're 6 months out or 6 weeks out, reach out. The link to connect with me is in the description below. No pressure, just a conversation. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with what actually happened because the media is spinning this story in a way that misses the most important part. On April 21st, 2026, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee stood at a press conference with Starbucks leadership and announced that Starbucks is opening a major corporate hub right here in Nashville. Up to 2,000 workers, $100 million invested in Tennessee, and 1,200 of those jobs are IT roles. High-paying, high-skilled technology positions that used to be located in Seattle. Now, Starbucks says this is an expansion, not a departure, and that may be technically true, but here's what's not being said clearly enough. Washington State recently enacted a new tax on IT services, a 6.5% tax that would have cost Starbucks millions of dollars on exactly those 1,200 IT jobs. Moving those jobs to Tennessee eliminates that exposure entirely. This wasn't a lifestyle decision, this was a math decision. And when math like that is obvious, other companies follow. Let's talk about what's actually happened with the taxes in Washington State because this is the engine driving everything. For most of its history, Washington had no state income tax, zero. That was actually one of its biggest selling points, especially for tech workers and executives. But that changed. Washington now has a capital gains tax, 7% on the first million in gains and 9.9% on anything above that. They passed a new income tax targeting high earners, up to 9.9% on top incomes. They added service taxes on IT support, website development, staffing, and more, most of which hit the tech and business sector hardest. The Association of Washington Businesses surveyed the members and found that the number of employers seriously considering leaving the state has nearly doubled in just 1 year, from 9% to 17%. And 44% of business leaders say they are personally thinking about moving their residents out of Washington. 44%. That's not a fringe opinion. That's nearly half of the business community saying, we're done. Meanwhile, and I want you to really hear this, Tennessee has zero state income tax, no capital gains tax at the state level, no personal income tax, no tax on wages. For a family earning $200,000 a year, the difference between living in Washington and living in Tennessee can easily be $15,000 to $20,000 more in your pocket every year. That's a car payment, that's a vacation, that's college savings, that's equity. Now, I want to be clear, this just isn't about Starbucks. Nashville has been on a corporate relocation tear for years, and the companies choosing Nashville are not small players. Oracle just committed $1.2 billion to build what it calls its world headquarters here. Amazon has a major operations here. AllianceBernstein moved their headquarters here from New York City. Nissan North America, Bridgestone Americas, Asurion, all headquartered in Middle Tennessee. Forbes named Nashville the #3 boomtown in America and the 4th best city for jobs. Inc. magazine puts Nashville in the top 5 best cities to start a business. And Nashville is one of the only major metro areas to consistently rank #1 in job growth nationwide. So when people ask me, is Nashville just a trend? I tell them this is not a trend. This is a structural shift. Major corporations are voting with their capital, and their vote is Nashville, Tennessee. And here's the kicker for businesses. Office space in Nashville runs around $43 to $44 per square foot for Class A space. In Seattle or San Francisco, you're paying double that or more. Same quality, half the cost, no income tax, and a city that is actively recruiting you. Now let's talk about what actually happens to your daily life when you make this move. According to Forbes, the cost of living in Nashville is approximately 47% lower than in Seattle. 47%. Let's make that real. The median home price in Seattle right now is approaching $800,000 to $900,000 for a modest home. In Brentwood, Tennessee, that same budget gets you a luxury style home, 4 bedrooms, 3-car garage, a neighborhood with top rated schools, and some land. That's not a rumor. That's what I see happen for my clients every week. Groceries in Tennessee run about 4% below the national average. Healthcare is 9% below the national average. Gas, lower. Property taxes, significantly lower than what Pacific Northwest homeowners are used to. When you add it all up, no state income tax, lower housing, lower cost of living, many families find they are materially wealthier on the same income just by changing their zip code. Now, most people searching this topic land on Nashville, and Nashville's a great city. I love it. But I want to give you insider information that most videos won't tell you. The families and retirees I work with, the ones who are making the smartest moves, they're not buying in Nashville. They're buying just south and southwest of Nashville in Williamson County. Here's why this matters. Williamson County consistently ranks as one of the highest performing school systems in the entire state of Tennessee and one of the best in the Southeast. It has lower crime rate than Davidson County. That's the county that Nashville proper sits in, and it gives you access to Nashville's airport, Nashville's restaurant, Nashville's energy without the congestion and the higher property taxes of Davidson County. Within Williamson County, here's a quick breakdown of the 3 markets I specialize in. Brentwood, high demand, limited inventory, average home prices in the $900K to $1 million plus range. This is Nashville's equivalent of the premium suburb. Well established, beautiful neighborhoods, top tier schools. Franklin, a little more inventory than Brentwood, starting around $1.1 million. You get a mix of incredible historic charm, one of the most beautiful historic downtowns in the South, and brand new development. Fairview, this is a strategic value play. More land, lower price points, and it's actually closer to Nashville than a lot of southern suburbs people consider. This is where I personally live and work, and it's where I see the most opportunity right now for buyers who want the Williamson County lifestyle without paying Brentwood or Franklin prices. Whether you're an executive relocating with your company, a business owner building your next chapter, or a family who just wants to give your kids better schools and a safer neighborhood, Williamson County has a home for you. I want to close this out by addressing something important because I know some of you watching are still on the fence. You might be thinking, okay, Jack, but isn't this just one company? Isn't Starbucks a special case? Here's what the data says. Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, moved to Miami. Howard Schultz, the man who built Starbucks, also moved to Miami. Mark Zuckerberg moved to Miami. Oracle moved its headquarters from Silicon Valley to Austin. Starbucks is now placing 2,000 jobs in Nashville. This is a pattern. High earners, successful executives, and major corporations are relocating to states with no income tax, lower regulations, and governments that are actively pro-business. Tennessee, and specifically Williamson County, checks every single one of those boxes. And here's the part that matters to you as a homeowner or a future homeowner. When major companies bring high-paying jobs to a market, home values follow. They always follow. The people who bought in Brentwood and Franklin 5 to 10 years ago have seen extraordinary appreciation. The people buying now are getting in at a discount to where the market is probably going. Look, I made this video because I genuinely believe that for the right person, this move is a life-changing move like it was for me when I relocated from Austin. Not just financially, though the financial case is overwhelming, but the quality of life, the schools, the sense of community, the safety, the space. It's a fundamentally different way to live. And for a lot of families from the Pacific Northwest, it's exactly what they've been searching for. If that sounds like you, if you're a business owner, an executive, a family, a retiree that's had enough of what Washington State is becoming, I want to be your guide. I live here, I work here every day, my kids go to the schools here. I've helped families from all over the country navigate this market, and I would be honored to help you do the same. Click the link in the description to reach out directly. We'll start with a conversation, no pressure, no pitch, just real information to help you make the best decision for your family. I've also included a link to my free relocation guide and another link to a free house search tool to get a feel for the types of houses and amenities you can expect to get here. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. I put out videos like this every week covering the Williamson County and Nashville area market, and I'd love to see you back here. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Jack LaRon. I'm your Nashville area real estate agent.